What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dog back again, and it's review time. And big result for Nottingham Forest today. It was 1-1, but I thought I'd get Lisa Fox. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I thought I'd bring in Kyle again. How you doing, Kyle?
Good, thank you, very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. And I thought I'd get last but not least. I got him from the bomb squad. Where it's,
the knackers yard, more like.
I do, Matthew.
I'm all right. I won't ask how well you are.
I'm just tired. I just finished from work, so I'm just a bit tired. But yeah, like if Forest drawn 1-1, I just thought I'd get everyone's opinion on the game today. And I'll start with you, Lisa. How do you think Forest played today?
It wasn't pretty. There were good in spells, there were rubbish in spells. But anyone who goes to Millwall and gets any points is good by me. And yeah, I'm quite pleased that we came away with a point. To be fair.
Matthew, Mighten scored his first goal. Was you happy when he scored his first goal?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? He didn't have too long to think about it. Instinct, straight in the back of the net. Grabban's nice little touch on. It was fantastic. First of many, I hope. I went to see the under-23s at the beginning of last season, and I was hanging around behind the goal, and his dad was there, and I was chatting to him, and I didn't know it was his dad, and he went and scored a goal, and he said, "Oh, my son plays," and I go, "Oh yeah," and he goes, "Oh, that was him. He just scored." So I know he'll be happy tonight.
Kai, as everyone knows, this is Carl. He's on the preview last night. Carl, are you happy with the point?
Difficult one. I felt like it was a really, as we said beforehand, the referee really did slow it down with poor decisions. I think he probably ruined the first half a little bit, just sort of too many yellow cards for me. I think it was probably unfair on both teams. Some of the challenges that got yellow cards were really unfair. Good finish from Bradshaw. Obviously, Bob Varston and Bradshaw, as me and TT were talking about last night with you. Bradshaw and Bob Varston, sort of a new pairing up there. And I thought they played well again today, and Bradshaw scored a good goal. Obviously, your goal was, lapse in concentration from Hutch and Cooper, which doesn't happen very often. But yeah, I'd settle for a point. 4 points out of 6 in a week isn't bad after a 3-0 loss to Borough.
Lisa, Lewis Grabban came back after scoring his goal against. Who did we play against another day? Who did we play against another day? Wednesday, and he started. Was you surprised he started today?
No, I don't think I was, to be honest. Lewis has got a lot of qualities, and I do kind of rave about him a little bit. I make no bones that I am one of his fans.
He's a good striker.
He's you know what you see is what you get with Grabban, and he has got a history of sulking a little bit. He has got a history of wherever he's not been there very long. But for me, if he's fit and he can play, then we play him as long as we've got him, because I personally think he probably will go in January. Again today, his work rate, not just being a striker that's getting goals, that his work rate is just phenomenal. And he set up a couple of chances in the first half, like you said, that little touch that just took the pace off the ball for the goal today was absolutely bang on. And I just love watching him play. That when he's on top of his game, he's got such a hunger for it. And I think over the course of the season so far, people haven't actually realised just how much we've missed him in terms of how much he does. Not necessarily when he's got the ball, when it's when he hasn't.
So, like, let's say you mentioned, would you, for the next game against Birmingham, would you start him again ahead of Taylor?
Yeah, I think I would.
Would you?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
He got 70 minutes today, and he is. If the rumours are, say rumours, he's been out injured. So ultimately, he's coming back from injury. Played 70 minutes today. Then yeah, why wouldn't you play him? And I mean, Mighten again, he's done enough to warrant his place too. So it's nice that we've actually got a squad where there is competition for places, because in some respects, last season the players kind of picked the first 11 picked themselves, whereas this year there is a little bit more competition for places.
Yeah. Matthew, with Grabban, everyone, I've seen him on social media before the game, everyone complaining about Grabban being captain. Was he right to be captain today, or would you stick with Worrell?
I would have kept Joe as captain, but to be honest, it's not a big deal. I just don't see it's a good fit for him. I would never sell him, and if you're going to make a list of better strikers in the Championship, it would be a very short list. So I'd pick him every chance you can, possibly. Why do you think he might leave in January? Is there anything firm behind that? Or
is that a bit?
Yes,
whoever be, because this season, okay, we could sell him. If you're going to sell him, the only reason would be but it would only be to make money, good business. But Forest, if I heard today, how much do you think we spent on Arthur? I couldn't believe it. I thought it must have been a typo. How much did we actually spend on Arthur?
I really don't know.
Apparently, nearly 5 million.
Shut the back door.
That's what it says on the internet. No,
shut the back door.
I think there must be a zero somewhere. If there's a zero somewhere, but if it's 5 million, dearie me.
No, it can't. That's lies. Don't believe that, Matthew. 5 million for 31. 32.
Well, exactly.
Wait till we sell for that much.
Well, it would have to be 50 million, wouldn't it? Really? I mean, no, you always have to pick him. He's a different class. We're a different team when we have him. Personally, I think he's an unusual kind of striker. He's quite unique. He does link up well, but in a way, he's really isolated. So you have to play to his strengths. A bit like old Stan Collymore in the old days. He's a particular kind of striker. And you've got to work to his strengths, but you've got to pick him all day. And what was the actual question before I sidelined you? You asked me a different question.
Captain, would you like? I think Captain.
I answered it, didn't I?
You answered it. See, this is why people.
I answered the question I was giving.
This is why people. He's in the bomb squad. That's why it meant to be Michaela. But Michaela was busy working, so I thought bomb squad.
I was giving you extra stuff. No, it's funny. Like you say, the team picked itself last year. I think it really didn't. Sabri just picked the same team, and that was the problem. I think what you have to do is have your 11 maybe, but you have to have 4 others that can play, and they're just as valuable, and they play as much as 2 or 3 in the 11. And he didn't do that. And he made some ridiculous decisions where people were left out and never seen again. And you shouldn't do that. You need to involve as many of them as possible. You can't involve 40 or however many you've got these days. But, you've got to seek for that, especially with 5 subs and everything like that now. So, yeah, it is good. We've got options. I'd like to see old Lolly getting a bit more of a, rehab opportunity.
Quick question. I know I mentioned Grabbing. I think was it Grabbing and Tiller played alongside each other against Derby? Would you not play them 2 together? Lisa, you answer that one before we get tired.
It's a really difficult one. I would like to see them play together, but they're similar, but they're not. It's really hard to explain. Because Forest don't play 4-4-2. So for me, who's of the two of them, who plays the number 10 or who plays that holding role? And
Good to play it.
I like both players. Don't get me wrong, but they both bring different things to the game. But if you've got a front 4 if you've got the likes of Lolly or Knockhart or even Mighten that are completely on their game, and then you've got the likes of Graben and Taylor together, or one plays for an hour, 70 minutes, and then you've got the other one to come on as an option. And it might well be that option is alongside the other one. What a great option to have. But seeing them actually play together hasn't really worked so far.
Kai, Bradshaw scored an early goal in the second half. Was you happy when he scored? Did he score past Forest last season?
No, he didn't score. No, it was at home. It was at away. It was Smith, and then at home it was.
Smith, I was worried. I thought he would come on and score again for it. I thought Smith's coming on. He'll score past Forest like as usual.
It's like a ginormous Andy Bell character that comes on.
Bradshaw he took his goal well, didn't he?
Important for Bradshaw to get some confidence. That's 2-2 for him now, so that's really important for him to get his confidence up. A good striker, but I think what Raoult's learned is that he does well in a 2 up top, and that's why it's so important that he either plays with Bodvarsson, Smith, or Parrott, and then obviously we've got returning Ken Zahor coming back, so he'll be another good player up there with either Bradshaw or Parrott, whoever plays. But But I think Bob Varson complements Bradshaw really well. He works really hard, wins all the does all the scrappy stuff, and then feeds it to Bradshaw. And Bradshaw tucks it away quite nicely. So yeah.
Lisa, next question. As you know, Worrell they've had started a good relationship now as centre back. We've got Birmingham next game. Would you keep them two against Birmingham, or would you bring that Figueredo back?
Yeah, no, I think that they both. I mean, today they both put in quite a solid performance. I mean, to be fair, for when they're kind of when they scored their goal, I think that they went past like kind of 6 of our players. So we do still have
fell over, didn't it?
A few defensive frailties, but both of them have been quite solid, and they are learning that partnership. And to be quite blunt, Figueredo hasn't had the best of games recently. So, you know, he's got to work harder to warrant his place. And why should anybody just come straight back in? You know, they've got to work hard. They've got to deserve that chance. And for Worrell, for me, would my preferred partnership, if you like, would be Worrell and McKenna. But I don't think Mbissoe has done anything particularly drastically wrong. Warrant losing his place at the minute.
Just for Matthew, like Christie has been given a lot of criticism playing right back. Do you think he played good today?
I thought he played a lot better today, didn't you? I thought he was pretty decent today.
Right. Yeah, I think he played all right.
He certainly, you couldn't grumble about today. I thought he did okay. Ribeiro, similarly, I thought he played pretty well. Obviously, the goal was nice last game, but I thought he was solid, apart from a 10-minute spell where everyone kept going around the back of him relentlessly. But other than that, I thought he did well. And I agree about the centre halves. You know, I think so. You've got to keep him in there at the moment. And Figueredo typically is better when he's left out unfairly. In this instance, I think there was no choice to be made, but he could have done with a rest and perhaps should have had a rest sooner. Because when he's on his game, he's fantastic. But when things get a bit haywire, and I think the other thing actually was a little bit unfair on Figueredo is playing next to Christie, because I think half the problems have been Christie and he's been covering up for them. And I felt like Colback when he was playing, he was having the same thing. I mean, it's all a knock on. It's a symbiotic relationship, and if there's problems somewhere else, you have to overcompensate. And it's the same with the strikers, of course, as well. Like you're saying, the combination of Graben and Taylor. Personally, I don't think they'd necessarily work together, but either of them would probably work with Guerrero or Freeman or someone else. But, it's all interlinked, isn't it?
Kai, I think Millwall was the first half. Millwall wanted the penalty. Do you think it was a penalty? I think he hit So's hand. Was it a penalty?
Yeah. As TT said last night at the Blackburn game, we had 3 penalty appeals. As he said, one was a Maradona and the other 2 were definitely penalties. But today, it was a difficult one. I think, at the moment with VAR in the Premier League, it's going a bit mad, isn't it, with handballs? But I did feel personally at the time like it was a penalty, but that could just be the game and the match day feeling. But I feel like it was a pen at the time, just because how far his hand flew back kind of showed the ref how much actually.
He was trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, trying to get out of the way. Come on.
Well, it was going wide. It was going wide. So it wasn't sort of stopping a goal. But at the time, I thought it was the penalty. I haven't watched it back recently, but in the game, you feel you want a penalty, don't you? So I don't know. I haven't watched it back. I have to watch it back and see what I think.
Lisa, as you know, Ryan Yates has been given loads of criticism on social media, and I thought him and Mbissoe played all right today. What's your opinion on Ryan Yates on the season so far?
I think, to be honest, he's probably up there for the season so far as one of our players of the season. I think.
Thank you very much. Someone agrees with me. Thank you.
I know, and I'm going to get shot down for it. But
you
know what? He's just honest and he cares. And I know you don't get points for trying, but he's still a youngster that he's plying his trade and he's still learning. And the way you're going to learn is by getting minutes. And I think last season he had a lot of minutes where he had Ben Watson alongside him, and it made a big difference to him. And it will only get better as he goes on. And you know what? If somebody like Gary Brazil comes out and says he will be the next whoever, then that's good enough for me, because we all know how Gary Brazil has worked with our youngsters and got them and onto the next level. And you can't actually fault any of our players or give them, I mean, Matty Cash left at the end of the last season. He started off, he was the wobble, he was the weak link, he was weak link in the middle. Ben Osborne was the weak link in the middle.
Everyone's a weak link.
They're both playing in the Premiership now, and it really does drive me nuts that every game that we play, there has to be a go. There has to be. And why does there? They're young lads learning. And I mean, I watch my son play, and he's under 18s now, and every game, there is a mistake in somebody. But you just have to get on with it. And why should our first team players every week somebody be to blame for something? Why can we as fans not just get behind them and accept it?
I was talking to Kai before we went live. Like, he was linked with Millwall in January, and do you think do you think he should go like stick with Forest? What do you think? No, let Matthew have that. No, Lisa, go on, Lisa, you answer it.
Still talking about Yates?
Yeah, Yates. Like I said, he was linked with Millwall. He's been linked with Millwall to go. Do you think?
I think he's been linked with a few teams, to be honest. And it's. I mean, Forest have over the last few seasons been a club where at the end of every year they've had to sell somebody to stay within the FFP or whatever. There's always had to be somebody that went. And we'll see what happens, because I think 2 seasons ago, Ben Watson was a favourite, and look at the season he had last year. This 2 seasons ago, fullback was one of our favourites. He's not been the best of seasons so far this year. So players, I think every season you kind of have to start with a clean slate and go again. And I think Forest proved that last year with Matty Cash, that it was a clean slate, you start again and you have to be behind them. And unfortunately, this year, I think part of our problem as fans is how much we imploded at the end of last season, and that there wasn't much of a gap between last season finishing and this season starting, and it all kind of mulls into one.
Kai, would you take Ryan Yates to Millwall?
Please.
I would. Yeah, I think he looked a decent player, but I know you two don't want him to go.
No,
you want him to go?
Well, I wouldn't fight you. I'd let you. He's brilliant, but stick your bid in.
I did. I mean, I would go with.
This is why Matthew's in the bomb squad, because he's a negative person.
No. Give me
I would
a chance
probably.
to answer if you want.
Go on, Kai.
Sorry, go on. I would probably. It's a difficult one because I did like the look of him today. But there is talk about us going back in for Jason Malumbi from Brighton. We had him last year. Do you remember the dance? Like the guy that did the dance.
Oh,
that's the guy that we're
not
going back
him.
in for.
No, not him. They mentioned that game. Matthew, they mentioned that game, that Millwall game. Remember, yeah? They mentioned that game.
So there's talk about us going back in for him. But I wouldn't mind Yates. He looks quite a good prospect. Only 22, 23, isn't he?
Yeah, we'll keep him at Forest. We'll keep him at Forest. Yeah, I like him. But like, I personally think he's been like his passion has got him through. I think it's more the younger fans has gone to him, because, like I said, he's not shy to get a tackle in. I know he can't score headers, but I think he's for me he's been my player of the season, regardless whatever everyone says in the comments, because I don't care what they say. Matthew. What's wrong, Matthew?
Who then, Matthew?
I don't know whether I can talk. I don't know if I can talk anymore after that. But anyway,
who would your player of the season be so far then, Matt?
I think it's a sort of neck and neck. It's like between like.
All right, then who's?
It's not. I don't think anyone at the moment.
People
really.
in the comments. Who do you think?
No, but come on. It's been an awful season. I mean, it's been. But all the players have been below par, however good their par is. Actually, let me be fair. I think Yates actually been very good, and I think the last 5 or 6 games have been some of his best games since he first made his debut, which he played very well as well. Personally, with Yates, I think it's fantastic attitude and everything, but I don't know yet what he can do well unless he's playing defensive midfield. And he typically hasn't played that, so it's not fair on him. It'd be just like putting Figueiredo up as number 10 or something. It's not desperately going to work. But like you say, he can't head the ball. And well, I don't want to say what he can't do, but you have to find players that can do specific roles. And
but do you not think though that there have been players that we've got like Freeman, like Arter, who we know perfectly well what they can do, and they're not the ones that are different?
No, I agree absolutely. I say no one. No, Arter's hardly. Oh no, there's no comparison between what Arthur's done on the pitch and Yates. Yates has been 10 times. He did more in 10 minutes today. Arthur hasn't completed a pass, and we know he's better than that.
And he cost £5 million.
No, that's right.
I don't know.
5 million? No, that's lies. 5 million? No, where have you got that from, Matthew? 5 million? Harry Arter? No. Listen, when he signed for Forest, I think I was one of the people who thought, yes, we brought a fantastic player, but he hasn't done nothing to me for the. And I'm not going to lie, I miss your mate, Matt. I miss Jack Colback. Where's he gone? Oh, this is your fault, Lisa. You upset him.
Have I upset him?
I don't know.
I haven't.
Back I'm lost now. He'll come back. Big game, but I've got a massive game as the Boxing Day against Birmingham. Lisa, do you think we should keep the same players or make changes?
Yeah, I mean, again, same team today, started the game and got something out of it. Yes, we changed, or the same kind of squad. Let's not say we had a different starting 11. But again, why should the likes of Knockaert or Arter or Freeman or Taylor, even to some extent, why should they come back in over who started? But I mean, I do think that potentially he's back. Look now, potentially.
Well, I got cut off by the Yates fans. They cut me off.
I think potentially. I mean,
Forest some money.
He may well change Grabban and Taylor over again. You just never know, do you?
I'll leave Grabban because, like I said, we need. I think at this time we're still like in the bottom half, and I think like the Derby did play today, and I think we've gone up. I think we've gone up one, haven't we? Rotherham's gone down a bit. One, I think. I'll stick with Grabban up front. Against Birmingham. Matt, would you stick with Grabban up front against Birmingham?
You have to win. So you need someone that's going to score a goal. He's the guy that scores goals, isn't he? So yeah, absolutely, you got to pick him. He's arguably our best player, isn't he? You've got to pick your best players and then fit the others around it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's fair. Who's Millwall got next?
Bournemouth away. Big tough game.
Did they win today? I don't know if
no, they drew 0-0.
I've been at work today and I've not seen the results. So
I think they drew 0-0 to Luton.
Big, I said massive game against Birmingham. And you know what? Quick question, Lisa. Our mate Ange Kroenke is back. He's got massive. I don't know what I don't say about. He's got points to prevent it sitting around.
He's he was quite well loved at Forest, wasn't he? And I mean, it's hard for both managers, I guess, going back to the City Ground and not having fans in there. And Ita, as a manager, has always done well against us. When he was with Middlesbrough. So it's not going to be the easiest of games, but if we continue on the same role that we've done at the minute, I think Forest up until probably a week or so ago were just devoid of confidence. The last two results surely have got to have given us a little bit of that and self-belief. And I think I am a firm believer that the fact that because fans aren't allowed in, it is influencing the older players, the more professional players that. They haven't got, the crowd around them that they are very well used to, and I think it does make a massive difference. And they've just got to get on with the job. But hopefully, we'll come out of it and we'll get something out of that and just keep the journey ongoing and trying to get away from that bottom three, because that's ultimately, there is a gap now between us and the next position. And the two teams that are directly below us have got a game in hand.
Matthew, do you miss going to the City Ground? I know I'm about to ask Lisa before. Matthew, do you miss going to the City Ground?
Yeah, backing Lisa up on the fans thing. This lockdown has been, I didn't realise fans were so important, but they're 50% of the game at least. You know, across all sports, it's amazing what a difference a crowd makes. So, yeah, and I think Birmingham obviously is vital. We really do desperately need 3 points from that game. So, you know, and I also think, same as Lisa, the last 2 games is Old Forest, is proper Forest. Until then, there's been nothing. Since lockdown, for me, it's been absolute. I don't know what happened to them. All the trauma, whatever they talked about during the lockdown was a disaster, and since then no one been able to play football, and it's only the last 2 games they've started to remember what football was for me. And it's completely different Forest now, and I'm not kind of worried about the rest of the season. If we'd carried on 2 more games, you know, I'd be petrified about what's going to follow. But I think we're going to be absolutely fine now. We're not going to get promoted or anything, but we should just use the rest of the season to learn something ready for the next one.
Carrie, I was about to say you're in now tier 4 now, and I'm sorry to rub it in because I know Millwall fans who was in the ground and now it's gone from tier 4. What's your feeling about tier 4?
Well, yeah, we've doubled in the last week, haven't we? Tier 2 to tier 4 somehow. Yes, I found out when we were watching the football, literally just as Forest scored. So I looked at my phone, realised that Forest had scored. Well, I was watching the game, so Forest had scored, and we were in tier 4. I was like, oh no, not going good for us. But yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? So hopefully go down and we'll be able to back in the stadiums again soon.
Lisa, who was waving in the background?
Taylor.
Let's go away.
Yeah, he literally just walked in, so he's just got back from Millwall.
But I think
if he stayed there much longer, he'd have been stuck, wouldn't he? You should have kept him there till after midnight, and then you'd never had to see him. You'd have been free of him over Christmas.
Right, so last question for Lisa and Matt. That's a Birmingham game on is it Boxing Day?
Boxing Day.
Lisa, what do you think the score will be?
I think Forest are going to win 2-1.
Oh, do you think?
Gotta be positive.
I think with Ansel coming back, I think it's going to be a different twist. If I'm honest, I don't know. I'm not going to give my prediction yet. I never do till the team lineup comes out. Matt, what do you think the score will be, Matt?
I was just going to say I'm in a prediction league and I'm second in that, so I'm doing quite well.
Matt, what do you think the score will be, Matt?
I think we will win. We should win. But if we don't, it will be purely as a tribute to Eitel, which will be richly deserved. So, you know, either way, it will be the right result.
Leslie, you've got Birmingham next time. Do you think you'll win the game away?
Tough game, tough place to go, isn't it? They've still got fans there, so make it even harder for us.
I'm getting depressed. Yeah. I've had enough.
Nightmare, but I take a draw there any day of the week. But it's weird because Millwall, we always do. We've got Bournemouth and Watford coming up, so 2 really big games. But they're 2nd and 5th. But we do normally do better against the top of the table teams.
So do we.
Well,
well, we used.
We got 1 point out of 18 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, so I'd hope we would get a couple of 2 good results, but I'm more confident going into the Watford game. However, we have got a better away record at the moment than home, so the Den hasn't been much chop this year. I think 2 wins in his last 17 games at Den, so not very good. I think it's about 10 draws, but so away have been better. So I'd like to see us win the game, but I'd bite your hand off now for a point.
Before we could go, Lisa and Matt, Lisa, you do it's a charity on Facebook every day. Can you just talk about it?
Talk about what? Sorry, the dog's going mad. I can't hear you.
The thing you do on Facebook every day, the charity.
Oh, so at the moment, I'm an ambassador for a charity called Footprints, who are a Nottingham charity that look after disabled children with cerebral palsy and other motor disabilities. And I normally do a big event that was meant to be happening in November, which obviously we couldn't do due to all the lockdown restrictions. So I came up with an idea that we would do an advent of fundraising, which is a prize a day for 24 days of December.
Yeah.
And it has been mental. So I raised $3,500 in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Done 20k this year since March, which is phenomenal.
Wow.
support from so many people, including Matt and including Byron, and including Michaela, actually.
And just mention Michaela and Byron. Don't mention Matthew.
And it's so nice.
Wow.
It's so nice that people are invested. You know, we've had so much support from lots and lots of different people, and the charity have gained. And I know that, you know, next year, hopefully, we can go ahead and do the event. And I mean, the advent calendar, I've had a different Christmas jumper or a different Christmas dress on every day. I've got my robins on today. So it will ramp up next week. And it has, and I know, I mean, somebody actually said to me the other day, you and Tails need to go on Gogglebox because some of the comments with are so funny. And it was never intentional that it was that's how it's come out. It was, you know, because it is a serious reason why we're raising money. But we've had such good fun.
Well, that's brilliant, man. Matt, you know, you do your stickers. And what do you think do with your Forest? Forest Forever.
What's that? What do I?
Your Forest Forever. You know, your stickers and all that.
Forest Forever? What's that? I don't know. My marketing's not kicking in at the moment.
Rogues Gallery.
I've got to spend more.
Rogues Gallery, that's it.
Yeah. So what about it?
You talk about it.
Talk about it. Do a plug. No, I don't need to talk about that. I don't want to become the big boss of it. No, I do my little thing, and we like to sort of support the players and whatnot, but and help out people like Lisa and whatnot. But that was just a little sideline that we got a bit carried away with. But it's a bit of fun. But mainly, you know, like you said, it'd be nice to get back to the ground and see the team play. And in hindsight, it'd be nice to have missed this horrible bit. And hopefully, we'll get back and they'll start playing properly when we're there to watch them.
I need some stickers, Matthew. So can you do them?
Oh, you need some more of your ones. Yeah, I did some for you as well. That's the main thing.
I need some more. I need some more, mate.
That was my charity gig.
Yeah, because my little girl, she takes them to school and now everyone's got them. So I need some more, please. That's okay.
Yeah, well, I'm having difficult. I've had a hard time doing new stuff because no one scored a goal. No one, you know, there's no decent slogans. You know, you can come up
he refuses to do a Yates one on principle.
No. Look, I'm going back to Yates. I think he's wonderful, but all these players, you have to nurture them, you have to manage them. And if it's like you give someone 50 games to have a go, sure, but let's give everyone 50 games, you know. You've got to manage them. You know, there's been good players that have been left out and not so good players that, you know, other players that need more time to, so you've got to manage the whole thing. And I don't know. You know,
I agree with you, Matt. I do agree with you.
Don't agree with him. Don't agree with him.
I do, because I know which players he's talking about.
Well, there's lots of them. Well, we've got so many. I mean, Jesus, you know, 3/4 of them are left out, aren't they? So, you know.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's silly because the 3/4 that are left out are always left out as well. So there's no point having them. They must be doing interviews with you.
What is Carl? We've got too much players that nothing. What did you say?
It's all right. It doesn't matter. They could spend all day just doing interviews with you, and that's all they can do at the moment, isn't it?
You carry on. I'll get the killer on you.
There's a dog going mad in my ears somewhere.
I know there is in mine as well. No,
I don't know who's got the dog.
Oh my God! Blame Tails. He was fine. The dog was so placid until he got home.
No, send the dog to the noise dead. But Lisa, Matthew, and Carl, thank you very much for coming on the channel.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry.
The dog's taking over the channel. but yeah, Lisa, Matthew, and Kai, thank you very much for coming on. I do appreciate you taking your time. But yeah, hopefully we got a better result on Boxing Day against Birmingham as well. But Lisa, Kai, and Matthew, thank you very much for coming on.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Right,
Bye.
Cheers, people. See you later. Bye. But yeah, that's Lisa Fox, Matthew Wilkinson, and Kyle. I will put all the descriptions below to follow them as well. But yeah, they're all good guys as well. But fantastic, like I said, great point for Forest. Great point for Forest as well. But yeah, it's just I was just mentioning about the Birmingham game. It's going to be a tough game because like I said, our ex-manager is back. But what like I said, I do apologise for not reading the chats. I was just speaking. as well. Why is Matthew still backstage, Matthew? You can go away. He's still in backstage. Matthew, you're not coming back on, Matthew. You can go. What with him?
No one else is. I'm just watching. I've never bothered watching you before, so I thought I'd watch a bit.
This is why people, because I want to, let's put it straight. I wanted Michaela in, but Michaela was busy. So I had to get Matthew in.
See, I'm a professional. I haven't gone off and had a strop. I was in the bomb squad, but I got recalled. You see, you're a better manager than we have in real life. You know, you've stepped up. You've seen the talent, and you've recalled me.
Because you're not being recalled by what's the name, that little dude. What's the name?
Well,
Max, the little guy.
Oh yeah. Oh, he'll get me back soon. He can't afford to save up his pocket money. You're big budget though, aren't you? That's the difference. My legs have gone. I've only got a couple of years left, so you just got to make the most of me while I can. Then but that's the same old thing, isn't it? Never mind. No, but you didn't really. It was a typical game today, though, wasn't it? It was a classic kind of Millwall away game. It was funny because we didn't really talk about the game, but the game was a typical kind of game, and I thought we did okay. It could have gone either way, but a point was fair enough, and hopefully a step in the right direction.
Well, I said, but I was also saying it's a massive game on Boxing Day against Birmingham.
Yeah. Well, they're all massive now. We've got to get some points on the board, haven't we? Because
Matthew, this, you know what it is? The reason I'm saying, because he's coming back, as you know, of what happened to Nottingham Forest, and he's gonna have like a really, I want to prove a point to the owner or the CEO.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
And that's my point. And he's gonna come back and say, sorry for my middle finger, people, and because it's sad.
Yeah. Well, Aitor was a really great bloke, I think. Generally speaking, he's a lovely person. Forget about the football side of it. He's a really good guy, and he got a really bad press. And there's a lot of people that's happened to. So I don't know. I think he'll come back, but he'll have a lot of friends. Well, he won't get to see a lot of his friends, but he'll come back, and he'll have some good feelings and some bad feelings. And it's a shame we're not all going to be there, sort of thing, anyway. But let's hope he stays around a little bit longer and we see him next year or something.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you go, Matthew.
And let's hope we beat him twice. Yeah, go. I had gone. I was just hanging around the changing room like I always do.
But you know what I do, Matthew?
I hang up.
But what I do, your stickers. The stickers rough. It's a rough gallery. I put your. Like I said, people, if you want stickers, this is your man. Because because he makes Forest stickers, he makes Lee stickers as well. I'll put your description below. I made
a Millwall one either. I made a Jed Wallace one, believe it or not.
Did you?
I don't think I've needed to print that one though. It's on the drawing board still. But I sold a couple of Jed Wallaces.
What I'll do, right? This is your man. If you want stickers, I will put descriptions below. What do you want? Should I put it on Twitter or your Instagram?
Oh, Instagram these days. Twitter's gone to crap, hasn't it? These days, I only get about 2 people seeing anything. No, they closed down my page on there.
Yeah, you know what? I was mentioning. Why did you get? What was it? Your opinion? I didn't
do anything.
Was it your opinion?
No, it wasn't. I don't have any opinions on that one. I try not to. I don't know. Maybe I had an opinion and they closed me down. I don't know. I don't know what I said.
No, there's a thing.
They wouldn't let me back.
No, I think I meant to. I was tagging something and. When I looked at Roof Gallery, I'm thinking, why are they being blocked? Because I'm thinking,
I don't know what I did.
See, this is what it is on Twitter. He's a foul mouth person, and he's not.
That's my other one. The worst thing is when you're logged into the wrong account and someone says something stupid and you reply and you say, "Oh, I'm not meant to have an opinion on this one, so I better."
You're not allowed to have an opinion on Twitter. You know the rules. You're not allowed an opinion on Twitter because. If you have an opinion, they'll come for you. Like they come for me. But it's not, sometimes I've got to learn to ignore them. Like you got
nonsense last time. Yeah, you got some real nonsense last week or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, I don't want to.
No, don't go back there.
Oh, I don't want to go back there. It was just.
It's sad. It's sad though. It's sad. Like we won that game, and for me, like I said, it was a completely different kind of Forest came out against Wednesday, and again today to a lesser extent. And people are all immediately trying to say, "Oh, it's only Sheffield Wednesday, it doesn't count," and all. But just forget that. Forget that. We were better, and that's all that matters. And it's the same, like Elise was saying about the scapegoat thing. It is sad where you're always trying to look for someone. You know, instead of just saying, "Oh, Yates played well," you know, he did play well. He's played really well recently. You know, I don't necessarily think he should be picked every week, but recently you couldn't drop him. I wouldn't have dropped him today. So
to be fair, I think for what's happening, like you said, every Forest player has not been great. But I think Ryan Yates has been one of the players that's just stood out for me. If I'm honest,
he has, and to be fair to him, he's done well when we've done worse, sort of thing. The last 6 games or so, he's played some of his best games. And that's good. That's valuable. That's a good quality to have. So definitely deserves a big tick for that. So
right,
anyway, I'll let you get on with it. I'll let you go on with talking behind our backs. I'll go for real. I'll go for real.
Right. Thank you,
keeping you honest. All right. Okay. See you later.
This guy, he never stops talking, does he? It's later, Matthew. Look, right, he's gone now. But yeah, people, let's say it's a massive game. If you are, you know what? How long have I got left? If I can get. How long have we got left? Right. If anyone wants to come on, they can come on. I'll go for the last 10 minutes. I'll put a link on. I'll just talk about today's game or have a question. Because like I said, I was at work today. So I did see the game. I did watch the game, but I also want other people's opinion on today's game. But I'm going to say, if you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button. Like I said, I will put Lisa's and Matt and Kyle's link below so people can subscribe to that and that. But yeah, it's like I said, I think I'll take a point. I'll take a point against a strong Millwall side. I know we've got we are not been playing great as a whole for the whole season, but like I said, our point is great. Right, since you quite a few, I'll start with Luke. Let me start with Luke. Hello, Luke.
Evening, Dore.
What's going on? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Now I've actually got power back in my house.
Oh, what do you mean?
We had a power cut for 6 hours today.
Oh, that's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. What's your opinion on game today?
I thought it was just a classic performance against the Millwall side. You know what you're going to get from Millwall, and we basically matched it. We went out and battled, which we've done for the past 2 games, and I didn't think that we were going to lose the game even when we went 1-0 down. I thought we were always going to come back and score at least 1 goal because we've got the outlet now in Alex Mighten. He's given us a yard of pace.
Do you think he deserves, after scoring his goal today, do you think he deserves a chance against Birmingham?
Yeah, he needs a run because if you look at players like Eberechi Eze, the way they've got into the Premier League is by playing consistently for the side that they came through from. Like, Mighten needs a run. Playing him for 2 games, then leaving him out, then playing him for another 2 and leaving him out, it's just a bit inconsistent. He's not able to build up the momentum to get better. Like, yeah, he had a quiet game today, but so did everybody else. We just did a job as a collective to gain a point away at Millwall.
Yeah. Last question, Luke. As you know, we've got Birmingham next. Tough game, and an ex-Forest manager, Cranky is back. Do you think he's got a point to prove at Forest?
Yeah, I definitely think he's got a point to prove because of the way we treated him towards the back end of his time at Forest. I mean, he saved us from relegation for the back end of 1 season, and then he did get us playing some okay football, and we were up towards the top end of the table. And again, it turned sour between him and the board. So I think he's definitely got a point to prove. on Boxing Day.
Go on.
Quick question before I go. Have you seen rumours about the Watford manager getting the bullet?
Yeah, that's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Watford, basically, they're just like Forest. Right, and I was speaking to I spoke to someone about it, and they're in 5th place. And the reason it's getting sacked because they can't win away, and that's awful. That is awful. I think it's crazy, and I think it's wrong. But what can we say? Forest are exactly the same. We do exactly the same. If you're not playing great, we do the same. So, people, what's your comments below about the opinion on Watford manager getting sacked? Before you do go, Luke, you've got a channel. Let me plug it in. Talk about it.
Yeah, my channel's called Turton Talk Football. I do previews, team news reaction videos.
You should make it Luke. You should make it Luke Turton. Make it Luke, not Talk Luton Talk TV. Make it Luke Turton.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it 3 words. I was trying to make sure it wasn't too long. And I'm doing a series where I interview other fans of other clubs on kind of past and present issues. I've got kind of 2 episodes to edit of that to come out. I've done one with the one episode that there at the minute is with Punk Chef.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's great. That's great. You know what I'll do? I'll put your channel in the link so people can subscribe to it if they can. But Luke, I'll let you go. But yeah, thank you for coming on my channel, dude.
No problem, though.
Peace out. Peace out, dude. All right, so that's Luke. I'll put his link in below. Before I do go, I've got some good news. Really good news. I thought there's only 13 people in. I've got 2 interviews coming up soon. Ex-Nottingham Forest players I'm doing. And I don't know what your opinion about it. My first one is Nottingham Forest defender, ex-Forest player Danny Collins. I'm interviewing soon. That'll be out Wednesday. And I got another player that I'm interviewing, Matt Mills, as well. Personally, he come to Forest I think it was in a transfer embargo, and I want to know his story about it. So, people, I'm interviewing Matt Mills and Danny Collins. They'll be out this week, and definitely before the Birmingham game. So watch out for that. But like I said, all for now. I'm going to try and get another Forest player as well to interview. But like I said, Danny Collins, Matt Mills. Their interviews will be out next week. So watch out for that. But like I said, if you're on the channel, please do hit the subscribe button, like as well if you can, please. But yes, I have another point gained today against the tough Millwall side. I don't know if I can, because I think it's Christmas Day. I've got Birmingham on Boxing Day. I don't know if I can get a Birmingham fan on that day. I'll try. But like I said, people, thank you for watching. Hopefully, everyone has a fantastic Christmas. Like I said, if I can get a Birmingham fan in, I'll try. But like I said, peace out, people. Make sure you do subscribe, like as well, and I'll see you either Christmas Day or Boxing Day at the Forest.